Hi, I'm Justin Dunn, the Senior Field Marketing Specialist at Haws, a global emergency equipment manufacturing company with over 100 years of experience in the industry. We are dedicated to improving the health and safety of our global community. In this video, we'll be highlighting the key considerations for the utilization of emergency eye washes, eye face washes, and an eye face wash with a shower, as well as step-by-step post-exposure first aid scenarios for each type of equipment. When faced with a particulate, chemical, or corrosive material exposure, decisive action can greatly improve the odds of keeping your eyesight, lowering the potential for skin grafts, and decreasing the length of your hospital stay. It can even make the difference between life and death. We want you to fully understand by the end of this video what steps to take after an exposure to a harmful substance. Now, the three types of emergency equipment we'll be covering include an eye wash, a device used to provide fluid to irrigate and flush the eyes, defined by two dedicated streams of water, one for each eye. An eye face wash, a device used to provide fluid to irrigate and flush both the face and the eyes simultaneously, with two dedicated eye wash water streams, as well as a face wash stream, rinsing both the upper and lower portions of your face. And lastly, a combination unit, an interconnected assembly of emergency equipment supplied by a single source of flushing fluid that includes both an eye face wash and a full body decontamination shower. Now, how do you decide what type of equipment to use? The type of emergency first aid flushing equipment you'll need is located in Section 4 of your safety data sheet, or SDS. This will tell you whether rinsing of the eyes and or skin are necessary after exposure, along with the amount of flushing time that's required. If flushing of the eyes is required, an eye wash will be needed. If flushing of the eyes and sensitive skin around the eyes is necessary, for example, when dealing with irritants or non-corrosive but harmful chemicals, then we need an eye face wash. And lastly, if the substance is in any way a corrosive, a combination unit with eye face wash and shower is required. Remember, when in doubt, install a combination unit. Full body decontamination is never the wrong answer. Now, equipment use procedures when a person is alone. Upon exposure when working alone, mentally note the substance you were exposed to for later, and immediately shout for help to alert nearby coworkers and begin quickly moving towards the nearest emergency flushing station. Activate the equipment and rinse off any personal protective gear you may have been wearing before removal. Remove clothing if the hazard was an irritant or corrosive. Use your fingers to spread your eyelids as far as possible and plunge your eyes and face into the equipment to begin your 15-minute irrigation. Longer, depending on the substance. After 15 minutes, if nobody has responded to shouting or lights and alarms, call emergency services and remain in place if told to do so by first responders. If you can move, seek any necessary first aid items and wait for first responders to arrive. Be sure to clearly communicate what you were exposed to when they arrived. When a person is not alone. If you are not alone, much of the process remains the same, but allow your coworker or supervisor to guide you to the nearest emergency flushing station and begin your first aid treatment while others call emergency services. Track down the correct SDS documents for the first responders and retrieve any necessary first aid items that you may need. Before we get into emergency equipment use, there are some important tips you'll want to consider from a company that's been doing this since the 1950s. Ensure you know where the emergency equipment is, how it's operated, and ensure it functions correctly before working with any hazardous substances. Avoid working alone when handling corrosive materials. Having someone nearby will ensure others are notified quickly. Emergency services are notified right away. They may also help guide you to the emergency equipment if your sight is in any way impaired. And they may gather SDS information for the substance you were exposed to or retrieve additional first aid items. Be cautious while assisting someone exposed to a hazardous substance. Do not place your hands on them. If their eyesight is compromised, remain calm and loudly communicate directions to the victim to help navigate them to the nearest emergency equipment. Touching them may expose you to the hazardous substance, making the situation far worse and preventing you from taking the previously mentioned steps. If the substance is on your face or in your eyes, immediately remove any contact lenses. Contacts may trap the contaminants between the lens and your eye, causing further harm. After activation and the use of emergency equipment, the streams may also push the contact lenses towards the back of your eye, trapping contaminant. If you are wearing safety goggles, do not remove the safety goggles until after the rinsing process has started and the water has rinsed the contaminant from the goggles. Your safety eyewear is likely preventing exposure of the eyes, and maintaining your sight will allow for faster navigation to the first aid equipment. Keep in mind that while your PPE may have prevented harmful substances from reaching your skin initially, the substances may run down your PPE and spread during removal, or corrode your protective gear. Get to a safety shower and an eye face wash unit quickly and disrobe in the shower to prevent contamination of your skin. If you're removing PPE in the shower and your skin contacts the harmful substance, then first aid is already available. If you're exposed to any of the following substances or similar substances, immediately seek out an eye wash. These units are best used for exposure to dust, sawdust, or similar airborne particulates, most commonly found in warehouses, paint shops, and construction sites. Immediately after exposure, begin moving towards the nearest eye wash and shout for help. Once you've reached the eye wash, turn it on by utilizing the manufacturer's method for activation. The eye wash should activate immediately. Remove any personal protective equipment you may have been wearing and use your fingers to spread your eyelids as far as possible and roll your eyes in a circular motion to ensure maximum effectiveness of the eye wash streams. Continue using the eye wash until 15 minutes has passed. Call emergency services when the flushing is complete if it has not already been done for you. Be sure to inform the first responders of what you were exposed to right away. If you're exposed to any of the following chemicals or similar substances, immediately seek out an eye face wash. These units are best used for exposure to cleaning chemicals, isopropyl alcohol, paint, or similar irritants, most commonly found in laboratories, hospitals, and educational facilities. Immediately after exposure, begin moving towards the nearest eye face wash and shout for help. If you're wearing safety goggles during the incident, do not remove them. Once you've reached the eye face wash, turn it on by utilizing the manufacturer's method for activation. The eye face wash should activate immediately. Rinse your face and the goggles off in the water before removing them. Once removed, rinse the affected area. If the eyes were exposed or you suspect they were exposed, use your fingers to spread your eyelids as far as possible and roll your eyes in a circular motion to ensure maximum effectiveness of the dedicated eye wash streams on the eye face wash. Continue using the eye face wash until 15 minutes have passed. Call emergency services when the flushing is complete if it has not already been done for you. Be sure to inform first responders of what you were exposed to right away. If you were exposed to any of the following corrosives or similar substances, immediately seek an eye face wash and shower combination unit. These units are best used for exposure to hydrochloric acid, hydrogen chloride, sodium hydroxide, ethylene oxide, or similar corrosives and irritants. Most commonly found in chemical manufacturing facilities, wastewater treatment plants, and pulp and paper plants. Immediately after exposure, begin moving towards the nearest combination, eye face wash and shower, and shout for help. If you are wearing any personal protective equipment, do not remove it until you have entered and engaged the safety shower. Once you've reached the safety shower, immediately activate it by utilizing the manufacturer's method for activation, typically a pull rod extending down from the shower valve. With the shower running, completely disrobe. This includes contaminated PPE and clothing. Contaminants can get trapped in the fabrics and continue to do harm. After disrobing, immediately activate the eye face wash by pressing the activation paddle Again, this method differs based on the manufacturer and type of equipment, but is generally a push paddle on combination units. This can differ based on the brand of equipment, but always research the activation method of the equipment in your area. The eye face wash should activate immediately. Rinse the affected areas. If the eyes were exposed or you suspect they were exposed, use your fingers to spread your eyelids as far as possible and roll your eyes in a circular motion to ensure maximum effectiveness of the dedicated eye wash streams on the eye face wash. Continue flushing until 15 minutes has passed. Call emergency services when the flushing is complete if it has not already been done for you. Be sure to inform first responders of what you were exposed to right away. Combination unit considerations. Consider installation of emergency shower curtains. This allows users to maintain some decency during their first aid emergency. If the hazard was in any way corrosive or an irritant, remove all clothing after activation of the emergency shower and eye face wash. Remember, there are many different types of hazards in the workplace, so be sure to check the safety data sheet's first aid section for proper rinsing procedures and time frame for the substance you're working with. Remember that 15 minutes is the minimum amount of time needed, and some chemicals require a longer flushing period due to their extremely harmful nature. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to contact us at 1-888-640-4297 or visit us and our website at www.hosco.com.